It's not cute anymore. My oldest is like, actually, about why maybe you're stuck, something holding you back, why you're not changing. The Happy Tears podcast is uplifting, encouraging, happy. It's a comedy podcast. So let's dive right into all the stupid things you keep doing and thinking and saying and feeling that are keeping you stuck. Greetings, it's your girl, Kelsey, rom-com author, comedian, podcaster, vlogger, YouTuber, Overshare, bestie on the internet, and I know I already missed an episode of the podcast. Virus hit us for the third time in a row, and your girl pooped her pants. I mean, have you even really lived if you haven't done that? Just in case you weren't sure I was serious about the oversharing, there you go. Guys, third time in 3 months that we've had a virus. And listen, my temple, it got me real good. My temple was attacked on the north and the south. And I didn't make it. I didn't make it to the restroom. And in that moment, my husband had to help get me to the shower. And I'm thinking, this is it. This is why you take marital vows. This moment, because it says in sickness and in health. This is it. This is the sickness. It was so bad. That happened, then I was recovering. I was in bed. Oh my gosh, I was totally wiped out. I just want to say, I know I'm not the only mom who's thought this. You're looking at your little angel, your little cherub on the couch, snuggled up in a blanket, got their fresh water and one cracker and their device, just listening with their headphones, snug as a bug and rug, doing absolutely nothing the entire day, but resting. And you think to yourself, you know what? Maybe it wouldn't be so bad if I got sick. No. Listen to me. You have not prepared for this. You're a general with no soldiers. You're a control freak who has never delegated to anyone a day in your life. So what happens is you do get the stomach bug and you are assaulted on the north and the south end and you have got no help. Someone's still like, Mom, where are my cleats? When you told them 3 days ago, hey buddy, you should probably pick up your cleats and put them in your shoe bin because you're not going to know where they are for practice. You're going to have someone asking you where their water bottle is and what time are we supposed to do this? And you're going to be up making lunches, writing to-do lists and post-it notes and checklists while you're on your deathbed. You have not prepared for this. We've all thought it in a moment of weakness. You know what? Maybe it wouldn't be so bad if I got sick. It would be so bad. I am here to tell you it would be so bad. And so, yes, we missed a week of the podcast. I probably look a little bit pale, a little bit bleary-eyed right now. I'm still not totally 100%. But I wanted to get on here because we've missed some things. I have something to talk about why maybe you're stuck, something holding you back, why you're not changing. Before that, we had fall break. If you watch the vlogs, I do a weekly lifestyle writing, motherhood, authorship, whatever, entrepreneur, mompreneur vlog every week. And you saw the kids' reaction to our surprise trip to a new indoor water park that opened up in downtown Oklahoma City. So we have not done anything fun in almost 2 years. And I just kept telling the older kids, we just have to get a little bit older as a family. It's just really too hard to do things with the little ones, especially the littlest. He's still in diapers and still napping and still tantruming and all that stuff. And we left him with my in-laws for one night and we went for 2 days on either side. And you can see in the video, my oldest I was like, what if we go to a water park right now? And my oldest is like, actually, she couldn't believe it. Their minds were blown, which was so sweet and so great. And then you guys, we went to this place and I sat on my lounger and watched my children just frolic in this enclosed area for 2 days. It was the most relaxed I've been in 2 years. It still does not a vacation make because there was still a lot of stuff, it was a trip. It was an experience, a journey, not a vacation, but oh my gosh, it was so great. And it was also one of those things, it kind of indirectly inspired this episode because it's kind of one of those great equalizers. kind of like, it used to be like go to Walmart and you'll see a snapshot of every subsect of American society. But not everybody goes to Walmart anymore. Some people don't ever go to Walmart. Some people, like your girl, don't go to grocery stores, just don't really shop. I'd much rather shop online and then drive around with my returns in the back of my car for 3 months. But this was one of those situations where there was really just everybody. I mean, it may be going to like a nice beach or a nice cruise, or not like the best of the best. It wasn't like a glamorous place. It wasn't like a super luxury experience or anything, but it was nice. And it was, it's Oklahoma City. So seriously, there was just all walks of life, everybody, all shapes in their bathing suits, just hanging on for dear life. All sizes, all colors, all types of families. And there was multiple women wearing the same bathing suit as me. And I don't know if that means that I have great taste or really horrible taste. I kind of think maybe it means that I'm super basic. I like to think of myself as like creative and artsy and edgy. Nope. I am buying the exact same bathing suit on Amazon as every other 40-year-old woman in America. But there are some people younger than me. There were some people that looked better in my bathing suit than me, and some people that looked worse in my bathing suit than me. And like all of my insecurities that I've had, like some women had a great rack. Some women had no rack. Some women, their rack was down by their kneecaps. Some people have, women had amazing skin, just awesome skin. And some women had, horrible, unfortunately for them, like acne or really bad wrinkles or whatever. Some women were there fully, like full face beat, completely made up, total glam at the water park. And they looked snatched, and they had work done. And I almost wanted to walk up to be like, excuse me, you look wonderful. Could I also buy that? Where'd you get that? You're here local. I'm local. Give me the goods, girl. Who did this and this and this? I would like to buy it. And so there really was, all walks of life, all types of people, and everyone is just the same. That's what's so great about it, is that we're all just the daggum exact same people going through the exact same things. Just a bunch of parents going, nope, I saw you touch her. I said, don't touch your sister, and you touched her. I'm sorry, you can't go without a life jacket. You can't go up that slide without a life jacket. Just all these parents just, tired to the bone and trying to enjoy this thing that they just paid out the butthole for. And then there were also some grandparents with kids. How could I spot the grandparents and know they're not just old parents? Because they had joy and were like loving their time with the children. It's one of those things that I feel like is so refreshing, like how the same everybody is. And it also made me think about how little our physical appearance matters. Again, this is not today's podcast topic, but it did get me here. So stay with me, everybody. We're gonna go on a trek to get to the point. Okay? And so the physical appearance stuff, is so unimportant. However, I do think it's so easy to say that. It's easy for me to say that now while I'm hopped up on Ozempic and Botox, and I finally lost the weight and I do feel better. And now I can be like, what, physical appearance doesn't matter. Well, it mattered when I was at my heaviest or when I was at my unhealthiest. Even after I ran the half marathon, I was definitely my healthiest then, but I still was overweight and could not lose the weight, which is why I got on the shot, because, I had messed up my metabolism from years of drinking. The reality is it can help your mental state. It can help your confidence. And the point is you want to be healthy. Like right now, I'm not my healthiest. I am thin, but I am not healthy because I'm not working out. I need to be working out. And my plan was to start my workout routine and reschedule my day after fall break. We came back from fall break to the plague. It's always something. It's literally always something. And I'm going to have to work around that, right? I can either make excuses or I can figure out a way to start exercising, even though it's always something. All this thinking about physical appearances got me thinking about glow ups, and glow ups are a huge trend on YouTube and Instagram and like video content, where if you have glow up in the thumbnail or the title, you'll probably get a lot of views. And I even started thinking about like quick ways to glow up. What would my glow up advice be? And then I was like, well, you shouldn't be talking about glowing up if I'm not going to tell everybody to get on Ozempic. If you want to, I have a code for you. If you want to try what I'm on, which is Spry, and I have an actual nurse who I can text, and it's a brother and sister company. I believe in them, and I think you should try it. If you want to try it, try Spry. But it's easy to talk about like glow up and physical appearance and all of that stuff if you're on the other side of it. And then I was thinking about, forget about physical glow up, but what about, like mental glow up, emotional strength, mental health, all that stuff, like wanting to change. And I know, I'm not going to say it all again. We've talked a lot about change on this podcast because I've changed so much in my life, and so much of my life has changed around me. It's been a big topic so far. But what if you can't change, or you're feeling stuck, or something is holding you back? And that's kind of where I came up with this idea for today's episode, because I have a few people that I follow online and I am seeing this happen to them. And so I think this might apply to you and me, of something that's holding us back that we don't realize it, or we do realize it, and we have to face the fact of like, it's not serving us anymore. And if we really want a better life, we're going to have to let it go. But before I get to that, I want to remind you that the Happy Tears podcast is brought to you by my books. This is all the special editions I have left on display, like trophies behind me. Hilarious, swoony, small town rom-com for the holidays, with a hardcover with illustrations, signed, shipped by me, with some goodies in it, some swag. This is all I have left. So go to kelseyhumphreys.com and order your special edition. They go away in November, or if I sell out. You also get one if you come to see me in Dallas or Oklahoma City in the month of November. Your ticket purchase to come to the signing gets you a special edition. If you're not sure, if you just love hearing me gab, listening to my jokes and my wisdom, wisdom from the girl who just talked about pooping her pants on the internet, I encourage you to give it a shot. You've got Christmas break coming up, Thanksgiving week. You're going to be sitting around and you're going to read something. I have a whole novel for free, Things I Always Wanted. You can get it at kelseyhumphreys.com, or read Happy Christmas. And you can read on your phone, on your Kindle for $4. It has all the holiday vibes, and it's starting a new series. So if you've never read any of my books before, you can start with Happy Christmas. Also want to note, I want to see you in Dallas or Oklahoma City, and I want you to tell people about the show. If we want to keep the good times rolling with the Happy Tears podcast, we got to start growing. So I need you to take a screenshot on iTunes and text it to a friend who will like it. Post it to your Insta stories. Tell a friend. Tell a friend. Kelsey is funny and encouraging. You should watch her show. All right. I feel like this issue we're going to dive in today, I have a front row seat to it because I'm in the online influencer personal brand space. Everybody has like a personal brand and like who they are online and what they do online. But I do think it affects people who are not at all in the online space. So I'll get to that, just like normal everyday people. Okay. But I'm going to give you a few examples. So one example is this entertainer that I follow. I followed her a long time, and she's very authentic. She's an oversharer. She's anxious and uptight, and she's a goal getter, and she's like journaling, and she tells it all on the internet to everyone. Has a blog, a book, a podcast, and it's so relatable and so approachable. However, her whole thing sort of became and is about being a B-list celebrity who never quite makes it, and she's never picked, and she's never chosen, and she's always on the B-list. And like, that's her relatable shtick, is that she never makes it. But at the same time, she talks about like goals and dreams and wanting to make it, yet she has made her entire identity about not making it and not being chosen, not being like picked for parts and roles and things that she's going after. And then another celebrity that I follow, and she has kind of made like a big boned, big body her thing, like masculine body, manly shoulders. She's a big woman, and she's kind of made this her whole thing while actively talking about wanting to lose weight, trying to make it in Hollywood, going after all these women who are smaller than her, having a lot of trouble finding dresses in her sizes and dresses that fit her body and all this stuff. And again, I am happy for you to be, for body positivity. I want you to be positive about your body if you are healthy and if you actually like it. Like, I feel like a lot of the times these people are saying contradictory things. She doesn't want to stay the way that she is while making the way that she is a huge part of her identity. You see where I'm going with this? Another one is this mom, which is it's a real thing with moms, about being type B. Okay. I'm just a type B mom. I just can't get my act together. I never remember everything. I always flake. I always end up canceling. I never make it to all my kids' stuff. At some point, girl, that's not cute. At what age do we decide? Like, at how many disappointments for your family and friends do we decide this is not cute? And this is where I'm really going to get in trouble. Because adult female, late onset or late diagnosis ADHD. Are you ready to be angry with me? When I see these videos about how it is and what they deal with and what they're going through, it is me exactly before I gave up alcohol and sugar and started making healthier choices. Now, obviously, if you have been diagnosed, if you are on meds, if you actually have ADHD and you need the medication to help you and you need support system and structure and tools and all those things, then obviously get those things. And I'm proud of you for getting those things and getting help and changing rather than just being like, oh, I have ADHD. I'm such a flake. Nah. Becky, it's not cute anymore. Those two are not that, like, just saying, oh, I can never get my act together. I'm just a flaky type B mom, or I'm just an ADHD gal. I just can't quite do it, or whatever. Like, is that who you want to be? Is that how you want your life to be? Or have you sort of made this your identity and now it's actually holding you back from changing to having a better life, being more organized, showing up for your family, being the kind of mother, wife, friend, daughter that you actually want to be? I mean, think about it. There's lots of ways that we do this. Oh, I just could never, like, I really focus on my diet, but I'm just not a workout girly. Oh, I just don't read. I just don't do nonfiction. So I know that there's some books out there that will really help me with this, but I'm just not a reader. Bro, listen to the audiobook. Like, there's just so many things that a night owl. Morning person. Oh, I'm not a morning person. I just can't get it all done because I just can't wake up. Or I always used to say personally, I was like, I can never do anything past like 8 or 9 p.m. My brain just shuts down. No, I can get a lot done after 8 or 9 p.m. if I need to. After 10 p.m. if I need to. Like, we just make these things, part of who we are, these traits, these tendencies, habits, issues that we wrestle with suddenly become our whole identity. One thing that's kind of interesting, if you're new to me, years ago, I went viral for introvert versus extrovert sisters. And then my first few books in the series are an introverted sister and an extroverted sister in my Heartlander series. Very popular, very relatable. But I really leaned into being an introvert. And like, if I had to pick introvert or extrovert, I would pick introvert. And I think I kind of made myself a little bit depressed because I'm more of an ambivert. I'm really more of a mixture of the two. And I was so alone for so long, just sitting writing books and then raising kids, which being with children all day is lonely. Little children all day is lonely, and can be lonely even with older children. Like, that's not the same thing as community, talking with people, being with people, chatting. What's interesting about introversion versus extroversion is if you make an entire fan base of introverts, they're not going to show up and buy tickets to your show, you dum-dum. Didn't think about that, did I? Because I just really leaned hard into introvert. About so many introvert jokes and introvert memes and introvert posts, and my following grew. And then it was like, oh, these people are never going to come see a show. And I worry the same thing about bookworms too. All you little bookworms. I better write some great books to get y'all off your couch to come to a signing. Introvert versus extrovert has been twisted because the actual definition was an introvert recharges alone and an extrovert recharges with others. You're talking about recharging, meaning you're out there depleting your battery with human beings in the world, doing other things. Not that, well, an introvert needs to be alone all day, every day, and an extrovert really should be out with people at all times. It was never that. We've sort of taken things to the extreme, which I'm part of the problem because extremes are funnier and extremes make better jokes and extremes make viral videos. My bad. So that's an example. Like maybe you've always said, well, I'm just introverted and I'm just a loner or I'm just a homebody. And then you homebody yourself all the way into depression. I'm a type B mom. I'm an unorganized girly. Oh, I just can't. I just never could quite figure this out. I never could quite do that. Obviously, I really believe change is possible. I really believe you can change. I want you to change. I have changed a ton and my life has changed a ton, as we've talked about. I've talked about tools for changing. But today I wanted to A, make you laugh. B, tell you that you're not the only one who's done this, because you probably thought of something during this episode of like, oh, you know what? I really have made this like a whole thing. Even to the point of you make chocolate or desserts or cooking, like baking pastries or coffee, like such a big thing. Like people always give you coffee stuff for gifts and coffee stuff as when they come to your house or whatever. And then like you should give up caffeine. Then what happens? Like for your health, if you decide you need to give up caffeine, you know, just things like that, where we just have these things that, why have I made this my whole identity? Why did I do that? For community, to be funny. You know how I always say, make a joke to hide the pain, laugh it off. You want to hide what's hurting you, just make jokes about it. Make it, if you don't want people to know it hurts, make it your whole freaking identity, Brenda. Right? This is what we're doing, some of us. So I wanted you to be encouraged that you're not the only one who's done this, that a lot of us do this. And I think a lot of us sort of wake up at some point and realize like, wait a second, why have I made this my whole kit and caboodle about myself? Is it helping you? Is it serving you? I mean, if I could make, you know, I really wanted to make running part of my identity, but it just didn't stick. Oh, I fell off the running wagon when I got pregnant, and he's 1.5 now. So I guess it's not part of my identity after all, but I wish it had been. And maybe I could. I really still want to. I want to be a runner. Of course, now everyone's like, don't do cardio, lift weights. Eat 500 grams of protein and lift weights every day. Can I just run on the treadmill? Apparently not. So is it serving you? Is it helping you? Whatever you've made a huge part of your identity and your whole spiel, is it still working for you, or do you need to let it go? That is my question for you today. Listen, I hope that you laughed and that this was helpful and insightful. If it was, I hope you'll follow or subscribe on iTunes. Hit the like button and the subscribe and the notification bell on YouTube. On YouTube, I also have a weekly lifestyle author vlog and weekly writing tips for my fellow creatives. I know I need to wrap this up. I always wrap up the show with happy tears, but I just keep imagining, the only thing I could come up with is, if you see a woman beelining for the bathroom and her eyes are as wide as my ring light and the tears are coming down, those are not happy tears. I hope you guys like and subscribe, and I'll see you next week for the next video.